Our top story here at noon comes from a Delaware courtroom where this morning, for the first time in U.S. history, a jury convicted the child of a sitting president of a federal crime. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm Drew Carney. The jury found President Biden's son, Hunter Biden, guilty of all 3 charges against him related to possession of a gun while using narcotics. Just last week, the president said he would not use his presidential power to pardon his son. NBC's Bree Jackson brings us the latest from Washington, D.C.
The jury deliberated for about 3 hours total and found Hunter Biden guilty of all 3 felony counts related to possession of a gun while using narcotics. The verdict comes after the prosecution argued Hunter Biden knew he was using drugs when he filled out a federal form to purchase a gun and checked a box claiming he was not an active drug user. The defense claims Hunter was not doing drugs at the time, arguing he did not knowingly lie. Hunter Biden's legal team also claimed the government's evidence was based on speculation and said the prosecution had fallen short of its burden of proof. Despite not taking the stand, prosecutors did use Hunter's own words against him, taking passages from his memoir and text messages to highlight his struggles with drugs and alcohol. The jury did hear dramatic testimony from people close to him, including Hunter's ex-wife, his daughter, and the widow of his brother Beau, Hallie Biden, who Hunter had a romantic relationship with after Beau's death. First Lady Jill Biden attended much of the trial to support her son. The judge did not set a sentencing date yet. 2 of the counts carry maximum prison sentences of 10 years. In Washington, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
All right, before we get to today's local headlines, we are going to check in with Chris McGinnis in the Weather Center. Chris, cloudy start today, but sunshine I know will dominate the rest of the afternoon.
Yes, let's call it a cloud sandwich maybe with a healthy layer of cloud cover in the middle. And
I'm not that hungry.
Well, you can have a big bite of cloud cover here for your lunch. How about that? After that, we'll finish with a slice of sun in the afternoon. In fact, we're already starting to break the cloud cover up a little bit over downtown. This is the live look from our Wells Fargo sky camera. And let's go ahead and advance things. You can see along the North Oregon coast, we're starting to break the cloud cover up a little bit in Cannon Beach as well. We had some sprinkles in the Coast Range well, certainly in the Coast Range and at the beach this morning. In fact, Newport had some rain earlier today. Here comes our front passing on through. As expected, the clouds thickened, and now they are beginning to thin already. It's just a little bit over downtown. It's 68 right now at PDX. It's 70 to Sherwood. Salem right now checking in with 71. East side of the state, which has enjoyed sunshine all morning long and now into the noon hour, is into the 80s already. Burns at 83, Baker City and Pendleton at 81. Your temperatures will go up a few more degrees before that front finally makes its way through your area. In the metro area, broken cloud cover now. The clouds will continue breaking up as we head into the late afternoon. And Drew, I think we go mostly sunny by 6 o'clock. I've got us up at about 75 for a high today. Full sunshine in the forecast tomorrow and Thursday. More on that and a look ahead to your Father's Day weekend. It's just a few minutes.
All right, we'll check back in with you at that time, Chris. Portland police released the name of the officer who shot a sex crime suspect during a search warrant last month. Officer Seth Wingfield, an 8-year veteran of the Bureau, has been on administrative leave since the shooting happened. According to police, on May 29th, 44-year-old Patrick Myers ran out of his Russell neighborhood home on Portland's east side armed with a rifle. And that's when they say Officer Wingfield shot him. Myers was booked into Multnomah County Jail after being treated at the hospital. He faces multiple charges, including attempted murder of police officers and encouraging child sex abuse. The man accused of shooting and damaging city property at least 7 times in the past 2 weeks, including a red light camera, will appear in court later this afternoon. After searching for the driver of a dark-colored sedan, Portland police say they found and arrested 28-year-old Chase Grieval yesterday after several more shootings. He faces gun and vandalism charges. KGW's Thomas Schultz is covering today's court appearance for us, and we'll have more on this case coming up in our newscast later this evening. A man accused of leading officers on a high-speed chase through Portland and Gresham last week now faces felony charges. Portland police say the suspect was speeding more than 110 miles per hour before he eventually hit a patrol car. KGW's Catherine Cook takes us back through the chase.
He peace and quiet shattered in Northeast Portland's Irvington neighborhood.
Suddenly, a swarm of police cars.
Neighbor Pat Clancy says everything took a sudden turn Friday evening when a police pursuit ended near his home at Southeast 16th and Stanton.
Roared into the neighborhood with lights flashing, and they blocked all the intersections around here, and they got out of their cars and they immediately told us to go inside and lock our doors.
Police were after the guy driving this stolen car. Court documents tell us officers used the car's GPS system to track it. From PPB's air support unit, you can see the start of the pursuit near 122nd and Powell. As the suspect turns into a parking lot and spots two police vehicles, he bolts.
Okay, he saw us, immediately took off, so the plane is yours.
Patrol cars back off, hoping to minimize danger to the public. So for the next several miles, it's just the suspect on the road. Police identified him as 24-year-old Dalton Williams of Beaverton.
Speeds are up to 65, 70 with no officers around him. Nobody's pushing this guy.
There were several close calls, like here on Northeast 162nd near Sandy.
Cutting off traffic, driving in the...
Is there anyone that
almost hit a bus. Now driving on the wrong side of the shoulder in oncoming traffic.
Williams then hops on I-84.
All right, yeah, he's 110 now, weaving in and out of traffic really fast.
Eventually, he ends up in the Irvington neighborhood.
Still westbound on Stanton. Speeds are still about 60 through this residential area.
Then, near Northeast 16th and Knott, he crashes head-on into a police vehicle.
Yep, just crashed into a car.
Williams gets out of the car and starts running. Pat watched some of the action through his window.
I saw the man who they were chasing go over our back fence into our neighbor's yard.
He says his neighbors were having a graduation party at the time.
He didn't stop, he just kept running through. So they didn't feel threatened, but they didn't like it much.
Seconds later, Pat says Williams ran out front where police were waiting.
When he went out, there were several police officers there, and he laid down and surrendered.
They took Williams into custody, much to neighbors' relief.
Unnerving. Not the sort of thing that we like to see in the neighborhood.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Next up here at noon, a local children's theater says it's on the verge of shutting down again if it doesn't come up with more money. In an email, Oregon Children's Theater called on community members to help raise at least $150,000 in an effort to keep it open through the summer. The nonprofit theater company says increasing its ticket prices to cover the rising costs of labor and production simply won't be enough.
I truly believe that the loss of the arts in the lives of young people is catastrophic. And if we don't have these kinds of tools in our development as young people, mental health issues just continue to skyrocket, and our social emotional well-being is decimated. The arts literally can change people's lives in that way.
As of this morning, the Oregon Children's Theater had raised about $25,000, but again, the goal is $150,000. You can find a link to help out in the online version of the story at khw.com. Between now and July 7th, Portland City Council will take public feedback on the future of Keller Auditorium. So there are three proposals currently on the table. One is to renovate the current auditorium downtown. Another is to build a brand new theater with the hotel and conference center a few blocks away on the Portland State campus. And the third proposal is to build a new facility on Portland's east side in the Lloyd district. So you can share your thoughts in an online survey. We have the web page to check out that survey right now up on your screen. You won't be able to vote on your favorite proposal. Instead, you'll simply answer questions about the future of the Keller. City Council is expected to make a final decision later this year.